Things are gonna get better now, but you're still a drunken fob. Things are gonna get better now.
Well, of course, it's better when it's hump day. And then on top of that, you add your favorite show, Headbangers and Hooligans. That's a pretty good fucking combination. Kind of like the sound of that car right there. As always, thank you for listening. Yours truly, Scummalicious. We're talking Rancid. I decided to go with Rancid as the band of the month for November. 2 reasons why I decided to pick them. The first, I realized last night, I've been doing this podcast for about 1.5 years now. Holy shit. Can you believe that, Penelope? Of course, you've only been around for 2 weeks, and you're going to be gone here in a couple days. Sick of your mouth. Anyway, I realized I haven't talked a ton about Rancid. You know, I've reviewed a few of their albums. The new one that they released this past summer, and they've been in some of my top 10 lists and all that. But I've never really dove in and talked about the band like I have some of the other ones. And the second reason for that Rancid is the band of the month, the Buckster. And he's probably driving down the road right now in his semi, like he always does, busting his ass. And I know I've told the story before. Went to a war zone 3 times to provide for his family. That dude's a true hero. But Rancid is his favorite punk band. Rancid is definitely his favorite of my bands. And I told him that one day, I said, okay, Brian, you're cool enough. I'll let you listen to Rancid. But you have to ask me before you can start listening to my other bands. That's just how it is. I'm kidding. It's a joke. But anytime I do listen to Rancid, I immediately think of him. And especially when it comes to the album, Out Come the Wolves. We listened to that for probably 2 months straight in my car. We worked at the same warehouse together. So we would ride to work and back. Always having that cassette cranked. And then, of course, every time we got back to our apartment, our other roommate would bitch about how he wished he could go to work and not stay at home all day and sit around. Boo fucking who, huh? Anyway. That's enough, Scummalicious. Don't be getting all cranky. Don't be going off the rails this early. But this show, it's hump day, which means overrated and underrated, and something unusual happened today. I picked 2 of their albums, Life-Wont-Wait, it came out in 1998, and Indestructible, 2003, the last album that drummer Brett Reed played on. And you know what? I actually switched. Listening to both of these albums last night, a little bit this morning, trust me, I've listened to both of these albums a shitload of times. And like I said with Dio, when I say overrated, when I'm talking about a Rancid album, we're talking really, really slightly overrated. Rancid just doesn't record shitty albums. They don't. You can call me a fanboy all you want. I don't fucking care. But the intention was Indestructible would be the overrated and Life-Wont-Wait be the underrated. I gotta tell you, I switched. Crazy. And I'm going to explain it right now. Let's get after it. We're going to start with Overrated. Life-wont-wait, as I said, came out in 1998. Tim Armstrong, obviously on guitars, vocals. Lars, who sings a lot on the album, and guitar. Matt Freeman, killing it on bass guitar like he always does. And of course, Brett Reed on drums. And it starts out with it's like a harmonica, guitar, and drums playing super fast. And this guy's talking in the background. And the last line he says is, prepare yourself for the evidence that will follow. And kind of a cool intro, just something different. And of course, then it kicks right in to the video, the song that they made a video for, Blood Clot. And when I was listening to the album on YouTube last night, I just clicked on and listened to the whole album, song after song, and they inserted the video Blood Clot, but they took the cuss words out. Why do they do that? It's so stupid. Have you seen all the videos on YouTube? Why would you take the word fuck out of there for the video on YouTube? Just doesn't make sense, and it's not a big deal, and I don't know why I'm making a big deal out of it. I guess because I enjoy hearing the word fuck. Who doesn't? We love the stickers. The albums with the explicit lyric sticker are the best. That's why the kids buy them. Anyway, that's enough of me bitching. The second verse, I love this part on this song. Well, I'm a bad motherfucker, and of course Lars sings that part, and then the band sings, driving me insane, so don't you even bother, who am I to blame? Because when I listen to the record, do you feel the same? It don't get any better. Yeah, I love it. It's a great song. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And the backup vocals, very strong on this album. They sound good. And remember, and I kind of got in an argument with the guy last night on YouTube, shocker. You just think I would stop doing that, right? I just can't help myself sometimes. But anyway, bitching about Tim Armstrong's voice. What do you want? Because what this guy was doing, he was bitching about the same things I bitch about when it comes to a lot of these punk bands where the singers all sound the same with that nasally, whiny voice. Isn't it kind of cool to have a unique voice? There's nothing like it. That's one of the reasons why Rancid, to me, separates them from the other bands, is because they're unique with some of the stuff they do, and his voice is part of that. Anyway, great song, and feeling pretty good, right? And then we get to the third song, Hoover Street. Really, really unique song here. Most of the song is like this really slightly distorted guitar riff. It almost sounds like he's barely hitting the strings. And then it has the weird xylophone thing going on in the background. Ding, ding. And I'm sure everybody, well, I don't know if everybody has, but I know that a lot of people compare this to Clash's London Calling, this album. And a song like this definitely does remind me of a song that would be on that album. And at first, when I first heard this album, I hated it. I'm not lying here. I didn't like it. I thought, what are they doing? Because this was the album right after And Out Come the Wolves. And I just told you how much me and the Buckster love that album. But this album, and I remember the time saying, oh, I give them credit for trying to do something different, but why the fuck did they do this? So it took a while for this album to grow on me. But definitely, this song here, Hoover Street, it does feel like it would be on London Calling. And he sings, Salvadorian girl, she kind of made you spill. Her brother Mario got shot 4 times in the head. Cocaine moved through that system like a river forever winding. It's a glass pipe murder. It's a glass pipe murder. Yeah, obviously you know what he's talking about there. And he, especially on this album, and you've heard me say this before, he's the punk rock poet. He really is, throughout this entire album, really cool lyrics. And that's part of the reason why this album grew on me the way it did. Because I could kind of forget about the weird music behind some of these lyrics in these songs. They just do a lot of different stuff. And then as I started listening to it more and more, it grew on me. But I can also understand why some fans hate it, because there's a lot of fans that hate it. But the critics love this album. They did. You know, they're like, oh, it's the second coming of the Clash. Either way. So, the next song, Black Lung, I like this line here. And I think this is like a quick 2-minute song. It's got a kind of a nice, heavy, catchy riff. 5 o'clock is coming. Do you feel the same? When a lonely whistle calls out your name, Black Lung. And just think about the guys that are in a coal mine or some dark warehouse. You know, when I listen to the song now, I'll tell you what, it makes me think of and I'm going to absolutely destroy this word, mesothelioma, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. They show that commercial every 5 minutes. When I hear this song now, that's what I think of. Then we get the self-titled track, Life-Wont-Wait, and it's ska, and it's got that reggae feel, you know, that kind of makes you think of Bob Marley. For me personally, just didn't care for this song, and it felt out of place. But once you listen to the entire album, then it makes sense. But it's just not one of my favorite songs by them. Song 6, New Dress. It's okay. It's a decent track, but you know, I'm not going to go crazy over it. Warsaw, though, I do like this song, Song 7. When I heard this, I was feeling that old school Rancid that I loved on Let's Go and their debut album. And Tim sings, true to Warsaw, glad we did it. Beat him down with a baseball bat. Police retreated with riot shields in fear of a baseball bat. Right? You kind of picture in your head, you know, riots and people getting fucked up with baseball bats, all that shit. And that's the one thing on this album. They cover a lot of shit. Good and bad. But it's definitely like kind of like a reality TV show. That's what Life-Wont-Wait is. In 1998. Alright, song 8, Hooligans. Ska. It's what I would consider just a basic Rancid ska song. Really love the bass in that, though. Matt Freeman. Holy shit. Is he so... See what I mean? I don't know what to say. When I listen to him play bass, it gets me all goofy. I forget how to talk, but he is so fucking talented, and that definitely is the standout part of that song, is Matt Freeman's bass. Song 9, Crane Fist. It's piano. And this is another song you're like, okay, that could probably be on London's Calling, and you know I don't care for that album. And someone would say, oh, you hate London Calling, but Rancid records a song and that sounds like something that would be on London Calling, and that's okay because you're sucking Tim Armstrong's nutsack. And you know what? You're right. You're calling me out, and you're right. I do suck his nutsack. And I'll tell you what, yeah, I stroked him a little bit. But just a little bit, like I tickled his taint. Okay? So don't get it all twisted. Alright. Okay, these lines are this is the best part of the song to me as far as the lyrics. Cool to the breath, G, quicker than liquor, quicker than any motherfucker I know. Rack him up and stomp him wherever he'll go. And Lars is the one that sings this song. And they do this cool echo filter on his voice. And it gives it an added heaviness. Alright? Especially when the piano is kind of the backbone of the song. That definitely helps to me. It balances out the song. Because we wouldn't want to hear Rancid with just a piano. Picture that. What if Tim Armstrong sung like a power ballad on a piano? That probably would not sound good. Just saying. And then song 10, we've got Leicester Square. It's okay. And you're going to hear me say that because you combine these two albums together, it's 42 songs total. Yeah, it's a lot of fucking music. So, it's just how it works. Some of these songs get skipped, or we'd be here till Thursday. Alright. Song 11, Backslide. Got a horn section going on this one. And it's not terrible, but I gotta tell you, Rancid is really good at ska. I like the ska music. They're good at it. I don't like the horns. I just don't. I don't feel like Rancid should have horns in their songs. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Tim Armstrong and Lars don't give a shit what I think about when it comes to how they write their songs. Hey Tim, that guy's scummalicious. He says we're stupid for using horns. Well, fuck him. He's got a point. But for me personally, I just don't think they need him. That's all I'm saying. And I say, nobody knows me, I'm all alone. I gotta go. It's a Hollywood bus stop and the party's over. I gotta go. And see, as I bitch about the horns, that chorus part is catchy on Backslide. It is. Song 12, who would have thought? You know what that means. Song 13, one of my favorites. This is a badass song. Dickie Barrett of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tone sings on this. Cash, Culture, and Violence. And they do that echo thing on Tim Armstrong's voice, like they did for Lars earlier. And it sounds so fucking awesome. And Matt Freeman's ripping out this crazy bass line like he always does. And I love this verse. It's high into a corner where the no one leads. It's so fucking high that your nose bleeds. Yeah. There's a lot of coke references on this album, and riots, dark alleyways. It's not always a pretty picture. And I'm pretty sure that's what they wanted. Song 14, Cocktails. Speaking of Cocktails, that movie with Tom Cruise, that's actually one movie I will watch because of Elizabeth Shue's in it. How about that? There's a little nugget for you. What the fuck? Tom Cruise? Get back to the album, dipshit. I know. Just some words throw me off sometimes. Song 15, The Wolf. I'm pretty sure the Buckster liked this guitar. This guitar riff in The Wolf. I don't know if he's ever heard this song. Buckster's he likes Chuck Berry. He likes some blues. This is definitely a blues-inspired riff, but it works. It's really good. And this part here that Tim sings, I really, really like. Isn't that neat? Oh, I really, really like you. Really. I didn't trust him because he smiled at first, just like the wolf before he bites me. And then Lars joins in on the chorus, but it's a really cool blues guitar riff. And you wouldn't associate blues with Rancid, I don't think. Or maybe you do. I just don't. Song 16, 1998. And it's kind of a mid-tempo song, but it's got a lot of distortion in it, and that's the one thing that about this album. With all these different things that they're experimenting with, it does take away some of the heaviness from the band. That's why I love Let's Go. That fucking album, they ain't fucking around. And the debut, too. It's just plug in the fucking guitars and let's play this shit. No effects. No effects. Guitar effects. Not the band. Don't try to play games with me. Anyway, but so when I heard the song 1998, I was like, cool, Rancid, kind of plugging the guitars back in again. Whitestone Clinics, 1974. Father's talking shit, motherfucker slam the door. Yeah. And it just, the lyrics go perfect with the guitar riff. That's why it works so well. And then we get to Lady Liberty, song 17. It's an acoustic guitar, but Lars sounds really good on this song. And I'm not just saying that because, being a fanboy. He really does. When Lars is singing this song, he's bringing it. He's got passion. And maybe he wrote that song because you feel it. You just do. Song 18, Wrongful Suspicion. It's another horn reggae thing. And it's not my favorite thing that they do. But I do like this section that he sings. Well, I heard they'd fly a Confederate flag down at the State House. Yeah, the little backup vocals. Their backup vocals are just a tad bit better than mine. You'll hear that when you listen to the album. Turntable, song 19, is fucking badass. It's another one with that blues riff. Little Chuck Berry going again. Yeah, he's gonna get it. Gonna run, set it in another wise hidden realm. Everybody knows it's fucking wild. Where there's no food on the table. We're strong but no longer able. And it turns like a DJ turntable. And yes, Lars and Tim sing it way better than me, but that's a real catchy chorus too. Really like that song. Got song 20 is Something in the World. Skip. I'll just be nice about it. Song 21, Corazon de Oro. I love the song. And the intro, it's so awesome. I'm telling you, just like I said about Lars, Tim Armstrong, you can feel it when he sings this song. I don't care what you fucking think of his voice. He is so good at bringing emotion to this song. And like I said, the intro is just organ and this clean guitar. It's over before it starts. Oh, don't you know? So on your marks, stand by, ready, go. From London to New York, Montreal to Tokyo, I see visions of her everywhere I go. What have I become now that I'm alone? Da, 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 da. Oh, it's a great song. It really is. And I know someone will tell me, oh, I didn't know that you love the sappy songs all of a sudden. Yeah, it's sappy. I don't fucking care. Tim Armstrong wants to write a sappy song and sing it, he can. You've been in the game as long as he has. Yeah, you better give him, or be running him in the ground, or me, for liking the sappiness. And then the last song is Coppers. It's an okay song. In the middle. Bottom line is, like I said before I started listening to both of these albums, it completely switched. It's crazy. And this is a really good album, but it's not great. And the critics are wrong by, and not all critics were crazy about it, but a big chunk of them were, and I was trying to think of some of the publications, yes, I used the word publication there, that reviewed this and gave it, 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5, I can't remember, but there was a lot of reviewers, amazing, Clash, The London Calling Part 2, it's not, it's Rancid, maybe borrowing a few elements from Clash and inserting them into a few of their songs, but to me those songs are the weakest ones on the album. And Rancid is good at doing the ska thing. I don't like the horns. That's just me. It's still a good album, but for the purposes of this podcast, slightly overrated. Now let's get to underrated. How about that? That probably kind of sounded cheesy. Shots fired, because Scummalicious is going to talk about a different album. Anyway, Indestructible, as I said earlier, came out in 2003. Brett Reed, last album that he played on drums. And this album starts off with Indestructible, which is a kick-ass fucking song. This is how you start an album. And it's short. It's like 1 minute 37 seconds long, I think. But you know what I'm talking about. It's catchy as hell. It's a song that you're gonna sing over and over in your head. With music, we can live forever. And I know I'm indestructible. And I know I'm indestructible. It's such a great song. Simple, but so effective. Rancid at their best, in my opinion. Then we get to the second song, Fall Back Down. I love this song. Probably seen the video. There's only one thing that I don't like about the video. And you're probably going to think, really? Don't be a dick. But Kelly Osbourne is in this video. What? What the fuck? She just didn't know what she wanted to be in 2003, did she? Wasn't she on The View for a while? And then she, I don't know, and then she was a pop singer, and then all of a sudden she wants to hang out with Rancid? Just go hang out with your dad and help him fix eggs, or whatever the fuck they do now. Anyway, reading the backstory of this album, I knew that it was a really tough record for them, because they were all going through a lot of stuff. Tim Armstrong, had gotten divorced from Brody. I can't think of her last name, that sang with the Distillers and is married to Josh Homme, is it? Is that how you pronounce the name? From why in the hell can't I think of their name right now? Queens of the Stone Age. Fuck. Boy, I need a drink, huh? Alright. But Fall Back Down, that song, you can really feel the emotion in that song, to me. At least I can feel it when Tim's singing it. And he says, don't worry about me. I'm going to be alright. Had a bad year, a lot to go through. I've been knocked out, beat down, black and blue. She's not the one coming back for you. If I fall back down, you're going to help me back up again. And the intro to that with the bass and the organ, Matt Freeman, just fucking killing it like he always does. It's a great song. I actually had that as a ringtone for a while. Isn't that awesome? Just think about that. For me, I don't know. I just think it's neat. Hey, Rancid ringtone. Who would have thunk it? I know I'm happy for him anyway. Third song, I love the intro to this song. It's a really cool palm mute riff, and Lars plays this. Well, I say Lars, it might be Tim. Little blues lick. That's what you want to call it. it sounds really good. It's short and simple, but effective. And then it kind of shifts into a ska song. And Tim sings, "Take the bus down to the graveyard shift tonight." But that's what Tim Armstrong does. He's the punk rock poet. He writes little stories. That's what it feels like. You feel like you're reading a book when you listen to his songs. At least I do. Song 4, David Courtney. And Lars sings on this. And Lars definitely brings it. It's got a little anger on this one. At least I hear it. And he sings, "Well, all you motherfuckers, criminals will be suckers if you don't step aside for David Courtney." Quick little backstory to that. Sorry, I got caught off right there. Anyway, David Courtney, the backstory to this song. If you haven't seen the movie Legend with Tom Hardy, go see it. That movie is fucking crazy. True story about the Cray brothers, Reggie and God, what's the other guy's name? I can't remember. He plays both guys though, and there's a scene in there where Tom Hardy's fighting himself because it's so cool. I don't know how they filmed that, but it's hilarious. But they were some evil fucking gangsters, and he worked for them, and he became some kind of like celebrity, and like he would tell these stories, and he kind of made up a bunch of shit in the stories so that other prisoners would respect him. But the song itself, it's okay. It's not amazing by any stretch. And I hate saying that when I'm talking about Rancid. But the line where Lars yells, "Well, all you motherfuckers," is probably the best part of the song. So, if David Courtney isn't their best, what about the next song, Start Now? It's good. And remember, it's not a crime to have a few songs that are fillers. Really like the chorus on Start Now. "Well, I'm not looking for a fight now, and I don't care who's wrong or right now. Release the dove into flight now." Yeah, I know. That line, does it feel cheesy? Maybe, I don't care. The words go good with the music. It flows nice, even if it sounds cheesy. Song 6, Out of Control. Lars again. When Lars is singing on this song, he's bringing it. You could tell this record is personal. Like, this shit means something to him. All of the band. And they use that echo effect on his voice. And he screams "out of control" a lot. And he sounds out of control. Song 7, Django. Not the movie, the song. That was pretty lame. I do like this line. Tim Armstrong sings, "Drag your coffin around just like a dead man does." That kind of pretty much fucking explains that. Indestructible. It's just so crazy that how my mind's changed that quick. And I've always liked Indestructible. I have. But just diving into it last night and experiencing these songs all over again, they just mean more to me. Crazy. So now we get Arrested Shanghai, Song 8. Another nice little lead guitar thing he does. Just a little string bend followed by some single notes. I'm going to use that little saying that I use. Quick, simple, and effective. That's all you need in Rancid. They throw in all kinds of neat little solos and fills. Maybe they don't shred like Eddie Van Halen, but they can fucking play their guitar. And this song, it's just mellow. You're kind of relaxed. Got a very cool bass line from Matt Freeman. And Tim sings, and I don't even know why. The truth seems like a lie. Solid song. Song 9, Travis Bickle. Remember that name? You should. Robert De Niro. That was the character he played in Taxi Driver. And it's got this really awesome chunky palm mute riff. Sounds better than that, of course. City looks the fucking same, and the derelicts who rule the street are insane, and the scum surges up, and there's no one to fucking blame. There's no way out of this fucking hell. And of course, if you remember the movie, he was a vigilante, and he was getting sick of watching all this sick, disgusting shit on the streets every day. Great subject for a song, great title for a song. So it's a win-win. And another cool thing on the album, before the lyrics, Tim writes a little paragraph before each song, telling you what's the story behind the song and why they wrote it. It's really cool. And that's another thing. I didn't really read those before, and I don't know why I didn't, because it does give the songs more meaning when you realize why they wrote them. Song 10, Memphis. Made mistakes from the get-go. Street kid right from the start, no regrets, no. No sleep for the wicked, right? No bed, no. No rolling with the punk rockers, I ain't lying. Fake guns, fake bands, fake punk, and I ain't buying. Hell yeah. I'm fucking with you on that, Tim Armstrong. Hey, you posers, get the fuck out of here. And listen, we've been down that road a lot, right? Well, especially with me. You know I agree with what he's saying, and I'll just leave it at that. Song 11, Spirit of 87. And where else you gonna go? Well, first it's Saturday. Where else you gonna go? They yelled at it. And I didn't really write down a lot of the lyrics. Oh my goodness, I cannot talk today. Boy. We'll get through this. Alright. But I didn't write down a lot of the lyrics for Spirit of 87. Let me explain this very simple. Or the simplest that I can. They say fuck a lot. Just go to YouTube. They've got the whole album up there. Check it out. The F-bomb is aplenty on that song, and you know we love our F-bombs. Song 12, Ghost Band. Ghost Band, Ghost Band. There's a Ghost Band girl playing our song. They're playing our song. They know all the lyrics by heart and play in the perfect key. And once again, we get a nice little clean guitar solo. That's what Rancid does. They'll do that every once in a while, and it's good. It always goes with the song. Then we get Tropical London, song 13. Oh, this is such an awesome song. If you lose me, you lose a good thing. That's one thing I know for sure. If you lose me, you lose a good thing. That's one thing I know for sure. That wasn't bad. I mean, it was not great. We know Tim Armstrong is fucking way better than that, but not bad. I put a little feeling in it. Not bad. Nice job, Scummalicious. I have to pat myself on the back because fucking nobody else ain't gonna do it. Song 14, Roadblock. This is dedicated to Motorhead. How fucking awesome is that? He writes it right above the song. I thought that was cool. Tim saying, hey, Lemmy, this is for you, brother. Walked into the party, don't know who we were. Set up quick on the living room floor. All I know is 3 fucking chords, drunken bass, and electric guitar. And when you title a song Roadblock and then dedicate it to Motorhead, that's pretty fucking awesome. It really is. You can't go wrong when you do something like that. That's good karma. Tim Armstrong just gave Rancid good karma by doing that. Song 15, Born Frustrated. The best part, of course, is the chorus because it's so fucking catchy. Like how they started the album with Indestructible. Is it you? Is it you who's been orchestrated? Is it you who's been born frustrated? And Lars sings Born Frustrated quite a bit, but it's so catchy. Why not? Go ahead and repeat it over and over, because we like that part. What a great fucking album. It really is. Song 16, Back Up Against a Wall. She said, I don't need you to save me, but there's people trying to play me, and there's no jobs that pay me enough to feed my family. And another really awesome palm mute riff. Those words fit perfectly with the riff. And another story. That's what Tim Armstrong does. It's real life. You feel like you're in a lot of these songs. At least I do. That's why I connect with this band the way I do. Song 17, Ivory Coast. It's got that classic Rancid sound. You know, like the debut and the Let's Go that I mentioned before. And it's got those super fast drums from Brett Reed, and they use that effect where the guitar cuts out, and they turn it up and then turn it off, and it is wham, 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 wham. That is a staple of Rancid, and I think it's kind of cool. That's what they do. And when you hear that, you're like, okay, that's Rancid. Fuck yeah. That's a staple. And so Ivory Coast, after they do the thing with the guitar, wham, wham, wham. Who is the killer? Whoa. Stone Cold Killer. Whoa. Food for the trigger. More really good backup vocals. And they do that well on this entire album. The parts where the band has to sing after Tim sound good. That's another thing that Rance is good at. You can bitch about Tim's vocals, the ones that don't like his vocals, which I love, but their backup vocals are always good. They are. They sound tight. Song 18, Stand Your Ground. It's okay. It's good. But they finish up the album with Other Side, and it is another na 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 na. It really is. That's the main part of the song. But the guitar riff is so catchy, you keep listening to it over and over. That's the beauty of it. And I'm telling you, it's a fucking amazing album. And I am so glad I did that this week, especially. It's nice to discover that I had an album that was a lot better than I thought. I knew it was good. I did. It's Rancid. I just didn't know that I liked it more than Life-Wont-Wait. And I do. Just a little. There you go. I've got Rancid's Greatest Hits tomorrow. Part 1 and 2, maybe. At least part 1. Alright? That was a rough one today. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your hump day. Take it easy. And if it's easy, you better take it twice on hump day. I'm out.